Buongiorno! We have a colorful and gleeful video for you today. We're going to go to Viagrande to watch some beautifully, ornately decorated Sicilian carts, listen to folk music, and then we're going to go meet our friend Sal, who left Sicily at a young age but keeps on coming back. Wait till you see the people he dresses.
What are you drinking there today?
Caffè macchiato.
And what? Show it to the people. What does a macchiato mean? What is that?
It's an espresso with a little bit of steamed milk, and it's in a shot glass like this, and I don't drink it like a shot. I like to sip it. What are you having, Al?
I'm having a double espresso Americano, which gives me the equivalent of a cup of black coffee. And
so
I'm not having
double espresso with water.
With hot water. And the reason I do that is because I already had two previously, and this will send me off the walls today.
All right, let's go to Viagrande.
Hey, come on.
What a glorious Sunday it is here for Sant Mauro in Viagrande. In Viagrande on January 14th. Tomorrow is Sant Mauro, the patron saint of Viagrande, and these beautiful Sicilian carts are parading up and down the streets. This is to give you a little perspective. As you can see, this goes on and on and on. All types of stalls and lights, and at night it is just glimmering here. You know, Al, this is one of my favorite things to do, to go to a festival here in Sicily, and here in Viagrande, boy, they did it right.
Viagrande has upped its game. Their fireworks now rival Archie Bonicorso at nighttime for the best in all of the province. I'm telling you, these guys work at it.
And here's the scene outside the Church of Sant Mauro. Everyone's getting ready for the festa. And tonight there'll be tons of fireworks, which we'll probably hear at our house.
Noi cerchiamo di mantenere le tradizioni per trasmettere tutto quello che i nostri nonni hanno realizzato durante la festeggiamento e trasmetterli ad oggi anche ai nostri figli e quelli che verranno più avanti di noi.
All right, let me tell you a little bit about these Sicilian carts, because these are the carts that we'll use for millennia, really many, many centuries, to carry people, things, wine, foods up these hilly places here in Sicily. Because as some of you may know, some of these towns are located on very hilly or very mountainous terrains. And when the cars came on the onset of roads and so forth, these were turned into ornately, beautifully decorated carts for festivals, for weddings, for all types of shows. In fact, if you're in Sicily and you can catch one of these carts with a performance, it is a true treat. We also have our Sicilian Museum that is part of some of our tours on the East Coast.
Here's a little interesting factoid about cavattinis, carettos, however you want to call them. There's only been one Sicilian opera made. It's a one-act opera. It's quintessential opera. And you probably have seen scenes of it, because if you watch The Godfather Part 3, the opera singers were actually singing Cavaliera Rusticana, excuse me. That was the, and the guy who was the cuckold husband, his name was Affiu, made his fortune delivering stuff on his carretti, his carrettino. So that's a little factoid for you.
Very interesting. And you know, there's a whole culture that existed also around these Sicilian carts, where not only were they taking people around, but they were also used to sell fruits and vegetables later on, when on the onset of cars. And why were they so ornately decorated? Well, think about it. When you go to you go shopping and you walk by a store, if you see that the store front, the store window is beautifully decorated and very attractive, you're much more likely to go in. So actually these cart makers would compete against each other, try to paint the most beautifully ornately carts to attract the customers. Hey, you'd rather go buy fruits and vegetables at a beautifully decorated ornate cart than maybe a more plain one. So that's a little tidbit about carts.
You know, Esther, today, the way that they did it, selling off the carts, according to what I've been reading in the newspapers, they can't do that anymore. These little vegetable sellers on the sides of the roads that you see all through Sicily, now they have to source their produce.
That's a good thing.
And if the cops come around and ask them for a seller's permit and they don't have one, they get a huge fine. Or if they can't source the product. Now, what is the business about sourcing, say, an orange or a lemon? Very simple. There's a lot of orange trees and lemon trees, Esther, that grow by the side of the road, that are covered, that are not meant for consumption, right? But what do people do, especially poor people? They pick them and they try to sell them on the side of the road. So one of the lessons to be learned is be very careful who you buy produce from when you come here to Sicily.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about the like street vendors in the middle of nowhere. Now you notice I put my glasses on because it is, what time? It's around 12:30, 1 o'clock, and it's mid-January, and it is 66 degrees, and it is pretty warm under the sun.
I got my electric bill for heat for the month of December. Guess what? It was €70.
Now,
including that. I was so happy.
Now, listen, it's not always like this. January, usually it's rainy and cooler. So we have had some rain. We have had some cool weather. But this is just perfect. And who knows what February sets in. Now, I want to say one more thing about Viagrande. That was, of course, for the Festival of Sant Mauro. And the carts from there came from an actual shop in Viagrande, which we haven't visited yet, but we will in a future episode. But in the meantime, we have visited the Sicilian Cart Museum, and I'll leave you a link to the video either here or somewhere along this video, because it is very interesting. Giuseppe Giuffrida from Tre Castagni, he has done a great job collecting Sicilian carts from all over Sicily. And by the way, each part of Sicily, their motif, their colors that they use, the side panel. Watch the video, he explains all of it. A great job by the Association of Viagrande putting on the Festival of Sant Mauro, and it's just a lot of fun.
You know what we didn't show with the fireworks, and Esther and I were having a discussion about this. those three communities that are right by each other, the Castagni, Viagrande, and Acibanacorsi, they take a lot of pride in their fireworks, and they collect money from the citizens all year long to pay for that. And as usual, the fireworks were great. We're 14 kilometers away, about 8 miles, 9 miles away here, and in the middle of the night we both jumped up because of the fireworks going off.
Well, there was also, they were celebrating Sant Mauro in Castello, which is the next town over to us. So if you guys don't know this, by the way, Sicilian saints in general in Sicily are very important, and they're celebrated year-round. Now, they're not official holidays, right? So there's school and so forth. But for the people who are hardcore followers of these saints, it is definitely a day of going to church, day of celebrating, watching the saints being carried out. And of course, we've done several videos on our channel related to saints, and the whole event and the whole just fervor, just religious fervor around it is just something to witness if you happen to be here. Again, January, Sant Mauro. I don't know if there's anyone else. February, we have the biggest one, Sant Agata. March, there's some. So every month, you can bet there's some kind of festival here in Sicily.
I would be remiss if I didn't remember some of the families who have immigrated into the United States whose heart was probably here this past weekend. I could think of the
Peter Messina,
brothers,
number one.
the Messina brothers, Peter and Rosario. I could think of John Giuffrida, who's very active in the St. Alfio Society, and is also, his family is also one of the owners of Cafe Orna in Viagrande, which is probably the best how do you say that?
Pasticceria.
Pasticceria,
In
pastry
that
shop in this area over here, and the Finicaros. How could we forget about the Finicaros?
The Finicaros. All right, let's go meet our
Great
friend.
people come from that area. It's
For
a great
sure.
town. My favorite town is Viagrande on the East Coast.
This week. I mean,
This
this
week.
week.
This week. Great place.
This week it's his favorite town. Let's go meet our friend Sal Paterno. Boy, what an interesting story of a young boy who left here in Sicily with his family because his sister had polio. And we'll just listen to his story. Let's go to Catania to talk to Sal Paterno. Finally, after all these years, we get to meet the famous Sal Paterno with Milano Fashion.
Yep.
The story that you have about moving to the United States is quite remarkable. Your sister had polio,
Yep.
and that's why you guys left.
Yes, 1968.
And so you moved to Connecticut.
Connecticut.
You're a stranger in a strange land.
Yes,
you
I
didn't
was.
speak English,
Not
right?
at all, nothing.
So what was that like?
It was difficult, but you know, where we lived, there was a lot of kids from Italian descent that just also moved within the year 1960-65. So I became friendly with them, and that's helped me go through elementary school. I started in 6th grade.
And making new friends, new traditions. Was it difficult?
No, because again, that community was surrounded by a lot of Sicilians. New Britain, Connecticut had a lot of immigrants from Sicily, different parts of Sicily, but mostly in the province of Syracuse. So.
And what about your parents? Your parents adjusted well?
My father, yes. My mother, no, unfortunately. My father, yes. But we started work, and once we started working, they started work. We went to school, we got settled, and we decided to stay. Plus, my sister was being treated at Newington Children's Hospital for her polio. After months and months of that, we just decided to stay in the States.
And when did you decide, or did you ever come back here to
I came back, I came back 3 years later in '71.
with your family?
No, just by myself to see my grandparents. So I spent the whole summer here.
You flew here on your own?
Yes. Yeah.
That must have been great. Did you miss Sicily?
Yes, I still do. That's why I come back all the time. Yeah.
And your family from Melilli?
No, my brother was born in Melilli. My mother
were
lived in Melilli, but she wasn't born there. We have roots in Melilli, yes.
And you were born in
Francofonte, yeah.
Which is in the province of
Yes, also Syracuse, yeah.
And now you have this amazing clothing company. You dress some big hitters.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
And so when did you start getting into fashion?
I was always into fashion as a teenager, let's put it this way. I remember working in a factory, and I used to make, I think my check was $33.33 a week, but I would spend $100 on a pair of pants. I always liked to dress well. And then in 1978, I moved to Miami. And that's why I started to really get into it. So I became a salesman at this top clothing store. And then I became a manager and then general manager of 5 stores. 3 in Miami, 1 in Houston, and 1 in Las Vegas. In '83, I opened my own in Coconut Grove for a couple of years. Then things don't go too good because most of my clients were Latin American. And the pesos and the bolivar from Venezuela devaluated, so they didn't come as often as they did, so I decided to come to New York in 1986. I worked for a company for a few years, and then I opened my store in '93, 30 years ago.
And you get all your material from Italy?
Yeah, most of it. Yeah.
So, okay, so name some of the people that you dress.
Well, the most famous at this moment is got to be David Ortiz from the Boston Red Sox. So I do all the suits that you see on Fox Sports.
That is pretty impressive. What is it like to watch Ortiz wear your clothes on Fox and have millions of people?
Well, I'm proud when he calls me and he tells me, that suit is fire or whatever. Or my lawyer called me and told me that I look great. That's so I get a high from that. So we became really good friends. So I go visit him about 4 or 5 times a year in DR or in Boston or wherever he is. We just did the World Series together in Dallas for a few days.
So you come back here all the time?
Yes, I'm here all the time.
You have friends, you have family.
I have an apartment here, I got a car here, I got a motorcycle here. Yes, I love it.
So why not move here?
5 kids, it's not that easy. So I'm hoping to spend 4 months out of the year in Sicily and then the rest of the United States. But if I could move my whole family, I would. But it's going to be difficult.
Yeah. What is it when you're in the United States that you miss the most about Sicily?
I miss the camaraderie. I miss my friends, most of all, and my family. And then the food, of course, and the scenery, and the water, and the beaches, and all that. You know, my store is close to the Hamptons. And as you know, the Hamptons are very expensive to live there. But the water cannot compare what we have here. And it costs you nothing to live here. Nothing.
I just want to say it was a true pleasure to finally meet Sal Paterno. He's been a follower and a supporter of You, Me, and Sicily, and also our nonprofit, the Sicilian Project, for many years. And of course, we follow him on Facebook, and I've seen him succeed so much, and it's just a great pleasure. And Sal, get your family over here. I want to meet the rest of the crew.
Sal Paterno is like folks like Bernie Sapienza that you've met, Peter Messina that I just mentioned, bet you met, the Finicaro family that we had done a video on, whose parents, the turn of the century, or early 20th century, came to the United States.
Well, actually, Sal's family went in the 60s, so his story's
I
a little bit different.
I was just going to say that. The second emigration came after the Second World War, when things in Sicily weren't so good, and that was the second influx of Sicilian immigrants. Sal is a testament to success, and I really enjoyed spending a couple hours with him and a couple of his friends that he brought with him.
Oops, a little windy.
Yeah, it was just he's just a great guy, and I'm looking forward to seeing that family when they come here again as well.
You know, it's so thrilling to watch our YouTube channel, our YouTube community grow by leaps and bounds. We're so happy that the word is getting out about Sicily because it's really worth talking about.
You see this cup of coffee? It cost me, it's a double, it cost me $1.99 in American money. For the price of a cup of coffee, you could become a member. And we're going to be starting to put this year, maybe next month, some extra stuff only for community members.
For sure.
Okay?
It could be videos, it could be pictures, it could be behind the scenes things, but for sure we are committed that we are going to start putting more content in our community.
So just do us a favor, if you
what
haven't
you do
yet,
is you hit the join,
hit
the
the
join
join
button, and it'll take you to how you can help.
$1.99 a month, cup of Java Joe, or as they say in Italy, Giuseppe.
Giuseppe.
Giuseppe's
Listen, the
Joe,
other
right?
thing we have going on, and I'm holding down the camera here because it got, whoa. All right, the other thing we have going on is our newsletter. If you're interested in receiving our newsletter, go to our website, www.youmeandsicily.com, and sign up for our newsletter. There's all types of stuff. Alfred is going to start writing some stories. I may have some recipes. I don't know. We're just going to play it by ear, but it'll come once a month, and all the information about what's going on with us will be there.
Well, first of all, she neglected the most important thing. It's free. So go to www.youmeandsicily.com, sign up, it's free, and we'll also be having specials there just for the newsletter recipients. We sent it out to almost 900 folks already, our first one, and we had a tremendous rate of people who clicked it open. So why don't you join?
For those of you who may not know, we do group tours of Sicily. We also do customized private tours. So all that information is on our website, www.youmeandsicily.com. Listen, if you love Sicily, this is the time to come. We have a great tour May 7 to 17 or a mega tour May 7 to 23. Either way, it's covering the entire east coast of Sicily. And also we have a June tour out of the west coast from Trapani, from Castelmare del Golfo. So those are great tours. And then in September we have our Tuscany tour. October we have another group tour, but in between those, if you, your family, friends, or whoever want to come here to Sicily and build a customized tour in either the west or east coast, we can help you.
The two in May and June are almost filled up. So if you're thinking about coming in May and June, we'll accommodate you, provided that you let us know relatively quickly.
May and June for sure are getting
the other
to
ones
that
still have vacancies.
and not that big either, by the way.
Yeah.
Not that big.
And the Euro's holding firm, which is a very important thing as well. But once you pay, basically you only have to bring spending money, because everything isn't included in all these tours.
Everything except
Ground
the
transportation, meals, 2 meals a day,
Lodging.
guides, buses, you name it. You know, so you just have to bring your shopping money. Right, Jen, and right, Mike? Right? Bring your shopping money.
Anyway.
Ooh, those two made the Shoppers Hall of Fame.
Anyway,
Esther.
thank you so much for spending this time with us. Have a great day. Enjoy January, because February is right around the corner, and that means the days are getting longer, it's getting warmer, and that's about it. Look at that. I finished my macchiato.
I'm
You're
almost finished
done.
mine. I'm almost finished my coffee that really only cost enough to become a member of our group. So drink the coffee. Join the group. We love you. Thank you.
Arrivederci.
Esa benediga.
Ciao.
Ciao.